What is going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we're going to be talking about should Zion Williamson's number be retired by Duke. Now, as far as if you haven't heard, of course, Duke has now been knocked out of the playoff, out of the Elite Eight, and did not advance to the Final Four, going against Michigan State. And whenever we look at that, obviously that's now the end of Zion's career, as he will be declaring for the draft and most likely be the number 1 overall pick. As far as his stats going, we do have to look at it as a 22.6 points per game, 8.9 rebounds per game, 22.1 assists per game, and shooting a great 68% from the field. So we're talking about very great numbers here, and whenever we're thinking about the retirement of somebody's jersey, usually whenever we think about this, usually of course in a professional level type of thing, where really you could justify it for any type of time, but I think in college is where it's really going to be considered into different things. Now, of course, we're obviously going to have to look at awards and other things such as that, with him being ACC Player of the Year, the sort of the MVP of the ACC tournament, winning the ACC championship, and whenever we look at making it to the Elite Eight is obviously still an accomplishment. Now, of course, I came up with this topic after watching, of course, some sports commentary on Get Up, where some of the former Duke players were talking about the fact that they believe that his number should be retired. And whenever I thought about this, I thought, really, should a player of a university be retired after just one season of playing at that university? Now, whenever we really do consider this, and the main reason why I do have very high speculations as far as on this is whenever we think about this, we think of a player in somebody like Ben Simmons who openly admits to the fact that he didn't attend college classes or anything like that, skipped out on lots of it, and really just maintained a good enough grade to just get by. And once it came down with the season being over, that was it for him. So whenever we see something like that, can you really retire a player's jersey number, even depending on how great they do into that season? Now, obviously Zion had a great season with Duke, but whenever I really do have to consider this, personally, I think the fact that a player should have to play 2 seasons at least in order to actually get that retirement of their jersey, depending on, of course, then the skill level of which they did perform for that school. Due to the fact that attending a university for 1 year is really anything in that type of particular. If you do 2 years, you at least come out with an associate's degree, and then you could at least have credentials that you did attend that college. Usually people wouldn't talk about going to a college that they didn't receive any form of proof or evidence that obviously proclaims them being in that. Now, of course, whenever we do sit there and think about this, they were also talking about, if you do consider Zion, wouldn't you have to consider somebody like RJ Barrett as well, who led the team in scoring this season? And in that consideration, I really have to agree with something like that. If that is the case, I think you have to consider that. Now, like I mentioned, my own opinion, I don't believe the fact that you should retire a number for a player at a university for 1 year of playing. I don't even think the fact that in a professional team you would even consider that, even if they had the most spectacular season we've ever seen in the history of the game. I think the fact that being there for a long time is a whole part of retiring a jersey. Being there for a couple games and really just being a big point, or even helping a team accomplish it, is not really a retirement of a jersey worthiness to me. Whenever we really do consider something like that, there's plenty of times that we see evidence that a player comes in for 1 year and we see them have an addition that really does end up helping a team end up winning a championship. Something like Clyde Drexler to the Rockets, helping them proclaim their second back-to-back championship, as now getting them any of the Clutch City, considering the fact that they were the lowest seed to ever win a championship in the NBA. Now, in that respect, yes, somebody like Clyde Drexler did definitely help a Rockets team win one of their championships, one of the 2 that they only have. And you would think the fact that if that's a consideration, and in a situation like that, now granted, Clyde Drexler did play more than just that 1 season after that, but whenever we look at situations like that, I don't think the fact that you really remember that person or really think to retire a number like that whenever we see consideration for something like that. But guys, as always, I do like to know what your guys' opinions are as far as something like this. I'd like to know, do you think the fact that 1 year that performing at a high enough level, do you think the fact that that's good enough to actually earn a retired jersey in a situation like that? I think the fact that personally it just doesn't work. But like I said again, tell me what you guys' thoughts are on that. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you leave a like and subscribe to become part of the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.